Welcome back, Sonny Hodgson. We haven't seen you for a while, and now you're here, and so welcome back.
Oh, thank you, Whoopi.
You're welcome. Raven was at the Emmys last night. She's going to be taking us behind the scenes a little bit later on in the show. But what's on everyone's mind this morning? IED explosions in New York and New Jersey and a stabbing attack in Minnesota, all taking place within a 12-hour period on Saturday. This morning, the NYPD sent out an alert that they're seeking a 28-year-old man named Ahmed Khan Rahmani in connection with bombings. Now, how do you feel? I don't know. This is really a dumb question, but, you know, were you freaked out? Were you surprised? Tell me, what hit you?
It was scary for me. I mean, I lived through New York on 9/11. I used to work in the building next door. So the sound of it, our windows blew that day. And that was the first thing I remember, is hearing sound. So when I see something like this unfold, of course you get scared. Is there more coming? And you immediately empathize with the people who were there in that moment, who didn't know what was happening, who didn't know, you know, am I going to be able to call a loved one? What's going on? Is there a series of events happening? And you look to people, you look to figures, whether they know what's happening or not, to kind of give some clarity as to what we can expect. Because the thing I think people seek in moments like that most is some kind of leadership, and knowing that someone is monitoring this and someone has our back that's bigger and more powerful than us and knows more than what we know, and is going to make sure that more people don't get injured or hurt.
Yeah, I wanted more information. I mean, I was actually covering this story for GMA over the weekend, and I wanted more information. I didn't want to be reactive, but I was in Washington, D.C. During 9/11, and I was concerned that these may be coordinated incidents, but I wanted to know more. And I think that's what's most important when these things happen. We have to take a step back. We can't give in to terror, because that's what terror is about. It's about making people frightened so that they react to other people's political beliefs. And I think what we need in terms of leadership is someone that will wait, that will pause, that will be thoughtful in leadership and not bombastic in leadership. And that's what I'm looking for.
How about you, Pam?
Yeah, I was in Los Angeles. You know, my heart just went out, and you get scared over it and hope that everyone's okay. But, you know, I take a little different position about the leadership, because I feel that, yes, we do need to know the facts. Of course, we have to take a pause for a moment, but I feel like that sometimes it shouldn't be about being politically correct, that sometimes that pause may be taken too long because we're afraid of offending someone or offending a certain group. And when we see terror like this happen, we need to call it out for what it is.
Okay, so
I think if you asked any of the people that had glass in their face that were running from that, they would call it terrorism.
So do you think that with all of that, it would have been smart for them to have let us know about the bomb that went off in Central Park several months ago that blew a kid's leg off? There was not a whole bunch of Hazara made. Nobody was pointing fingers at Islamic terrorists. Nobody was doing that. But I wonder why nothing was said about it, because if a bomb goes off in Central Park and someone loses a leg, that's kind of a big deal, and you kind of want to be prepared that, oh, this might be happening. So I get really uncomfortable when people talk before they know what it is, because, listen, they blamed Atlanta. You remember not a long time ago, but Richard Jewell?
Yes.
He was in the park. They said, it's you. You did it. It wasn't him, you know? And so for me, before you tell me it's an Islamic terrorist, I want you to make sure that that's what it is.
And that you have the right person. I mean, remember during the Boston bombing, the marathon bombing, they named a kid, and his picture was everywhere. And that was just a terrible, terrible decision. It also happened in the Dallas police shooting, where they named an African-American guy who, it's an open carry state, had an open carry gun, and they named him as one of the shooters. You know, I think, again, Candace, and I understand your point, and I think you call it what it is if you know that's what it is. I think you have to be very, very careful. And you can't play into people's fears. In fact, I think the sign of a true leader is someone that is thoughtful, that is not going to run amok without facts. And we see that so often in our country.
Bill de Blasio refused to call it terrorism. Now, the motivation, I think you're right about. Terrorism can be motivated by religion. It can be motivated by, there's numerous motivations. You can't call something Islamic extremism if you don't know if it's linked to that at all. But I think you can call it terrorism, because terrorism means an act of violence. That's a very broad word.
Well, no,
but
it's a loaded word. And so you do have to be careful about it, because there are volatile people out there. And to them, when you say terrorism, it only means one thing. So you want to be, it's not about being politically correct, but you don't want to name the wrong people. You just don't want
you don't have to name anyone.
was his hesitation in not saying that?
People assume that.
Yeah, I think he's terrified of the word terrorism. Absolutely, 100%. Even when it is terrorism.
Shouldn't our politicians be terrified of labeling
I think you should be terrified of terrorists. I don't think you should be terrified of the word terrorism, because that's not what the dictionary definition of terrorism means. I think you should be wary of saying Islamic extremism when you don't have the facts. But terrorism is terrorism. When you blow up a bomb or a pressure cooker in New York City and people are... I mean,
terror has to be related to a political goal, and you know that. And so maybe I don't know, because I think we're all speculating. We don't have that much information. Maybe it's a kid that decides that's mentally ill
when there are multiple ones going off. I would have to say that it's definitely terrorism. Well, where it comes from
it probably is, but I don't think probably is enough.
Well, I asked the question I asked before. A young man had his leg blown off, and I didn't see jack. I didn't see any of this heightened, oh my God, something's happening. It should have been.
If it was a test run, it should have been.
But we don't know what it was. But when the hell have you ever heard of a damn bomb in Central Park? And it blew his leg off.
Yeah.
Okay? Was that an explosion? Was it a fire? I thought it was a firework.
No, it was an explosion.
Okay.
And it was strong enough to blow his leg off. Yeah. So it wasn't a firecracker. Unless they're making firecrackers that I've never heard of.
But police believe it was related to fireworks.
You know,
so again, we don't know.
But you know, they put stuff out. So I always want them to be cautious, because I wanted to know about that, and I knew about it because I knew. You know, but is this something that was connected to? I mean, it's a lot of questions that I haven't. But you know what? I always have questions, and that's why I'm such a pain in the butt. We will be right back with more Hot Topics.
Raven was rolling with Emmy winners all night, and she's taking you along for the ride next. Later, President Obama's senior advisor, Valerie Jarrett. Then, the transgender models of Whoopi's new reality show, Strut. Plus, View Your Deal has your Emmy-winning sexy secrets, and we partnered with vendors for 50% off.
The Emmy Awards were last night, and you know, our Raven was there, and she took some of the big winners off the red carpet, and hilarity sometimes ensues. Take a look.
Is it ever okay to steal someone's food at work?
Yes.
Researchers have debunked the 5-second rule, which means you can drop anything on the floor, leave it there for however long within reason, and pick it up and eat it again. What food would you do that for?
Lobster. Yeah, I would leave lobster on the floor as long as it needed to be there, and under any circumstance, I would pick it up and eat it.
Last person you texted.
My mom. I was like, I'm at the carpet. I love you.
Like,
look out for me.
We love you. Turn on the TV. Who is the person in your life that'll be like, no, don't wear that?
I can't say my mother, but it might be.
What's your last Google search?
My last Google search. How to apply fake eyelashes.
Research says that conservatives have better sex. How do you feel about that?
I hope conservatives had great sex. I mean, more power to them. I hope everybody has great sex. So do you have great sex?
I do have great sex.
Well, she has great sex.
But I'll pick food over sex any day.
That's not great sex.
Are you sweating from the heat, or are you sweating because you're nervous?
All of those things.
What is the one thing, now that you've been a woman on television, that you feel sorry for us for?
The time you have to do to get ready. Guys just go like this. That's still good. I'll wear that.
First thing you did this morning?
I can't say.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hello, Whoopi.
Look who I found.
That's my girl, honey. Mwah.
Hi, ladies of the View. I love you. You guys are amazing. Most embarrassing moment?
Long time ago when I was on Broadway, I had to use the bathroom. They stopped the whole show. Twice.
I love That So Raven. Me and my best friend, when we were growing up, watched it constantly.
I love you. Who are you excited to see tonight?
I'm excited to see. I've heard rumors. I've heard rumors that Beyonce might be here. I never met Morgan Freeman before, so he's on my bucket list.
What's your secret talent?
I can do a Shakira impression. I don't know if it's any good.
If you weren't an actor, what would you be?
Teacher, school teacher.
Look who it is. It's my stepbrother from 17 million years ago.
A lot of years ago. It's an exciting year. I have to tell you something. It's just a great year to be a person of color, and I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to it.
How are you? Nice to see you. Raven. The show's about to start, so let's go backstage and check out the winners.
And the Emmy goes to Jeffrey Tambor for Transparent.
I was shaking up there. You saw how inexpert I was.
It doesn't change.
It doesn't, and I forgot to thank my wife. So, Kasia, thank you. I would not be standing here were it not for you.
What happens after your show?
I don't really have many other skills. I'm not going to be able to become a movie star due to an inability to act or look like a movie star.
Courtney B. Vance. You guys are racking up tonight.
I feel good.
What was the first thing that went to your head when they said your name and you won?
Regina King, American Pride.
I can't curse. I was very happy, but shocked, and just happy that my mom could be there for the moment.
Oh, your mom's here with us.
Hello. Hi, ladies of the view.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Congratulations on your first Emmy.
Thank you.
I mean, really? That's coming out of my mouth is just
Key and Peele. When we saw Damon Wayans go up there, because like he's our hero. Like he's your hero. I mean, like a hero. And so if he did it, we were like, this would be the most amazing thing. What did they say, Key? And what?
You're an Emmy Award-winning actress. What do you do the next morning? Sit by the pool?
I doubt I will have a morning because I think this is going to take me into the morning.
So, you guys, the Emmys are over. That's right. I did my duty here. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. I miss y'all.
Well, we'll be right back.
She's been called the most powerful woman in America. President Obama's senior advisor, Valerie Jarrett, is live in Hot Topics.
The Calvin Klein underwear that kind of blew up on Instagram. I did that with a friend of mine who's a photographer, and I was like, let me post this and see what my friends think of it, basically. And it ended up blowing up. You made
some new friends with that one.
Yeah, and then I was contacted through social media to do other photo shoots and to be on cover of certain different magazines. And usually, I think there was one in particular in Florida. It was Guy Magazine was another one, and then Attitude, and it just kept coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Not surprised. Now, Whoopi, as the executive producer of Strut.
I'm one of the executive producers.
As one of the executive producers. Oh,
Tom Leonardis and I have been working together for 23 years. And so this really came because Tom said, hey, our other partners, 44 Blue, have something they want to talk to us about, and they think we're the right partners to have. And so as soon as they said it's about the first transgender modeling agency, I'd already said yes in the middle of the conversation because, you know, we've been living with transgender people in this country as long as there's been a country. But you don't know who's transgender, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But because oftentimes there are so many issues that we're coming up against, we wanted to show people that these are folks with families, dreams, hopes. They want to be models. They have the same stuff, same wants that you have. So, yeah.
On that note, Tom, you've made a comment that I agree with, that you want people in middle America to see this show, which I think is super important. But tell me a little bit about what you hope that they'll learn or discover from watching a show like this.
Well, I think every time we watched A Cut, we were always surprised to see that we forgot that they were transgender. And they're dealing with the same issues that we're dealing with. They're dealing with dating. They're dealing with family issues. They're dealing with friendships. It's all right there. This is a show for everybody. We're all human, and that's what this show is.
Dominique, you're a veteran of the modeling world and have been through your own personal struggles. You've become a mentor to Laith, whose mom is struggling with his transition, and we have a clip.
That's her beliefs, right? And you cannot go against another person's beliefs because then you would be a hypocrite.
Right.
But you still have to tell her how you feel.
Yeah.
Because you're not hiding. We are not hiding anymore.
Yeah. I'm really nervous about speaking to my mom because I think I've disappointed her. We try to talk about my transition and where I am now, and she just shuts down, and I think that really needs to change.
Laith, how is your mom doing with this?
She's doing a lot better. I initially going into this, I didn't think that she'd ever become more accepting, but as time goes on, you just have to realize that it's a transition for me, and it's just as big as a transition for her.
For them as well.
Yeah. She's a phenomenal woman. I haven't been able to actually meet her yet, but just from, talking to Laith and stuff, she's a very phenomenal person.
So is your dad. I saw the first episode. But our thanks to Laith and Dominique. Strut premieres tomorrow night on Oxygen, and we'll be right back.
Tomorrow, Scream Queen Jamie Lee Curtis and Magic Johnson's wife Cookie opens up about how his HIV diagnosis changed their lives and their marriage. Plus, steal some Emmy-winning hotness on View Your Deal. We partnered with vendors for half off everything that'll make you red carpet sexy.
Thanks to our sponsor, Wyndham Rewards. Candace is blindfolded in this win booth today, which is full of numbers that represent today's studio audience, and she's about to pick a winner. Are you guys ready? Ready, Candace? Who is it? 98. What's your name?
Teresa Halbert.
And where are you from?
Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, boy. But we have great news for you. Not only have you won this trip, but so did our online winner, Dennis Anthony Karagopoulos. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. From New York, New York. You want to see what you won? Check this out.
You won a 5-night, 6-day trip for 2 with round-trip airfare to Colorado Springs, courtesy of Wyndham Rewards. The Mining Exchange, a Wyndham Grand Hotel and Spa, elegantly fuses old-world charm with modern amenities and exceptional service to create a world-class hotel experience. Its location in downtown Colorado Springs makes it comfortably nearby to the area's most famous attractions.
I'm happy to go with you. I'm just offering myself up.
Probably better take my husband.
Oh, yeah? All right. Well, if he can't make it, you know who to call. We are giving away 2 more trips tomorrow. Tune in to see which audience member gets one. And viewers at home need to visit our website by midnight Eastern tonight to see how to enter to win a chance to win tomorrow's vacay. Hopefully.
I'm watching this. I keep thinking, where would you want to go on vacay? If you could go anywhere in the world, quickly.
I don't know.
All right, I'll come back to you.
Ireland. I want to go to Ireland.
You want to go? Have you never been
Never
before?
been to Ireland.
All right.
I want to go back to Capri.
What about you?
Hawaii. I've been before, but when I was like 10. So it's been a while.
I think Japan.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Japan's great.
Yeah,
All
I've
these
never
places
been.
you're talking about are great. I go to Greece.
Oh,
Yeah,
Greece is wonderful.
I tell you, I was in Patmos, which is one of the islands, years and years ago, and I left my wallet at the taverna, and the man came looking for me on the island. Now, of course, I was easy to find. But it just made me think this is the place I want to be, where people close up and come and look for you and give you your money. I mean, I remember in the old days, that was the norm.
That was.
But there you go. But you know what, y'all? You are spectacular. We're thrilled that you came today. We want you to have a great day. We want you to take a little time to enjoy whatever view you have.